When Sydney broke the world record recently, what was your immediate reaction? Was it, oh man, or was it, oh wow, now I've got something to aim for? Because obviously you've responded by smashing your own PB as well.
I think it was more like, oh wow, as just someone who loves athletics, it's really 50.6 is such a crazy time. I don't know if people sometimes understand how crazy it is to run this on hurdles. So I think for me it was just really like, wow, this is amazing. Of course it put some pressure on me, and at the same time it put a bit the pressure back because she's really the clear favorite. So at the end nothing changed. I tried to be the best every day. I tried to be at my best at the Olympics, and this is what we focused on. And I didn't mean Levrone as like an answer on her world record. It was just for me a race in order to be at the best at the Olympics, and that it's such a good time. It's something really nice.
And obviously, so her time is 3/10 faster than you, and that seems quite a lot. But in the hurdles, is that slightly different? Is it that you think that's possibly easier to overcome? Because you take big chunks off your time.
I think with hurdles you sometimes take a big chunk off because just your stride pattern is working better, or you can maintain the speed better. I think 3/10, it's 3/10, but at the same time you're in a battle with someone with 3/10, but like 1-2 seconds they're way too far. So I hope we can battle together and bring each other to a higher level.
Sorry, God, just one more. You're the only two that have ever broken 51. Now there are some people saying the 50-second barrier is up for grabs. Do you think that's possible, and do you think that's possible in Paris?
I mean, I didn't think the 50 barriers was possible a few years ago, so I think we're just running faster and faster and faster, and I mean, it would be crazy if one day one of us or someone else can break the 50 barrier. I mean, I would have to do another second. It's a lot, so I'll just focus on my race and I'll see where it brings us, but it would be cool if it's one day possible, but for now I'm enjoying that I just broke the 51 barrier.
Femke, just wanted to get some insight into the change in stride pattern. Obviously you and Lauren have worked quite a lot on that. Can you explain, for anyone who doesn't really know about the 15 to 14, could you explain more about that?
Yeah, so last year we decided to change, and it's quite a change because you need to do one step less, so you need to make bigger strides, but at the same time you also need to change the leg that goes over the hurdle, and I really had one good leg and one leg that really was not that well, so we worked a lot on it, and it's just a different way of racing because for 15 stride I had to put a lot of rhythm between all the hurdles, and in the end it would be easy, but now it's in the beginning I have to do big strides, and I needed to find a way to be fast with this, and at the same time I had to do a switch now after hurdle 7, so you have to think quite differently, but I really enjoyed this challenge to see like how this is working, and this year I can see that my bad leg is becoming much better technically, and I think in Levrone for the first time I had a really good second bend where I have my switch, so I really like it, and I feel it's my way of running way more than the 50.
Yeah, I was about to say, how easily was that to adapt to such a situation, and now do you think, okay, now I've done that, you can see the rewards?
Yeah, I think I expected it to be harder than it was last year. I expected like, okay, maybe the first times I won't get over the hurdle or this or that, but it all worked out pretty good, which made me feel it was a bit natural to me. And I think my coach also told me after the year, like, I think if you are exactly physically in the same shape, you can run faster simply because you've had more races in the 14 stride, and this is also what I really feel this year. I feel more comfortable. I have to think less about what I'm doing, and I can just race more.
Which is the bad leg?
Right. Right first leg.
Have you been? What have you done to kind of get that up to speed?
I think we just worked technically on it like we did the year before, but I think at the end it's just going over hurdles. You just have to take the hurdles. You just have to do races, and then it will get better.
Right. Yeah.
As an athlete born after 2000, how do you see the role and the impact of the younger generation in track and field?
Oh, I mean, I think the older generation and the younger generation, we just influence each other. It's been great, for example, to race against the Lila, who's been on the field for so long and already did so many races and stuff on Turtles Pro. And then you have Sydney and me who are way younger and who are also progressing a lot thanks to her. So I think both generations just benefit from each other.
Men's and women's fields are both going off, really.
Yeah.
Do you influence each other, do you think, in terms of, when there's a stride made in the men's event, it opens up your mind for the women as well, and vice versa? Do you think that's the...
Well, I remember in Tokyo, I think their final was the day before ours, and it really inspired me. I was like, okay, we need to do well. I mean, the men are running so great. we should also try and do our best. And I think, of course, it inspires. For me, for example, Alessandro Santos also became third in the Olympics. I saw him go closer to the world record and become world champion the year after, and it also inspired me. Like, okay, it is possible to go from a third place to the first place. And at the same time, for me, Carson is really also inspiring the way he goes into the races, like really like a Viking, just giving it all. And things like this, I think it always inspires to see also the men doing well.
Participating in such a major event, London Diamond League, yeah, on the eve of the Paris Olympics, which maybe is the closest to the Olympics. What benefit do you see in this?
I mean, I think it's a great last tryout before you go to the Olympics. I will have almost, I think, all of the competitors who will be in the final maybe. I will see them tomorrow, so I think it will just be amazing to go out there. I think it's always, I mean, London is a great atmosphere. I hope Paris will be even better, but I really love London. It's a dream come true, and I think it's really good one last test to give it your all.